When men begin to multiply on the face of the earth.
Men multiply. Yeah.
When men begin to multiply.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And daughters were born unto them.
And daughters were born unto them.
That the sons of God.
Sons of God.
That the sons of God.
Sons of God, yes.
It came to pass when men began to multiply on the earth.
Yes.
And did what? And
that the sons of God.
And gave what?
Birth.
Birth.
Oh, yeah.
Gave birth unto what?
Daughters.
Daughters were born unto them.
Men and daughters.
Right.
Men and daughters. Men and daughters. And when this began to happen, when this began to happen, that the sons of God, referring to a whole separate entity. Men and daughters being multiplied, when this began to happen, it was then that the sons of God. That the sons of God. And I know that's what it says here.
Yeah.
That the sons of God
saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
And they took them wives, listen to this, of all which they chose. Every one of them were able to take whatever woman they wanted. Read it again. They took them wives.
They took them wives of all which they chose. Of all.
Some of them.
No, all.
Some of them.
All.
All. Whoever they wanted, they had. Ain't a man ever been born that could get every woman that he looked at.
That's right. That's right.
But these sons of God did.
Right.
Why? Because they what? They were elevated, yes.
Right.
They were elevated in power.
Yeah.
They were not men. It was when the men began to multiply, men here referring to humanity.
Amen.
Humanity, when humanity began to multiply on the face of the earth and daughters were born, it was then that the sons of God looked down, listen to this, what did it say?
Saw the daughters of men.
Saw that the daughters of men,
That they were fair.
that they were what?
Fair.
They were fair.
And they took them wives.
And they took them wives.
Took them.
Of all which they chose.
They took them wives
Took them.
of all which they chose. Who's got a reference Bible? Go to Deuteronomy 7:3 right quick. You keep that. Somebody else go to Deuteronomy 7:3.
7 and 3.
7 and 3.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
So then, he's talking about something that is different. Read it again.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
So then, these sons of God had to be something that was forbidden for the women to marry into. Huh?
That's right. That's right.
That's the reference verse.
Come on.
That's the reference verse. So they had to be something that was forbidden. But these sons of God took them wives of all that they chose. Oh, you. And they took them. But it was wrong. Because the reference verse said it was forbidden. The daughters of men could not marry outside Okay. So they had to be something of a different nature that was forbidden. Okay. Give me your question. I may not answer it just yet.
Okay.
What is it?
It was referring to this same chapter. Isn't this chapter talking about when they came out of they came out of Egypt?
No.
And
This chapter is talking about the law of God as was given by law.
I'm sorry.
Being implemented for the first time with an occasion when they came out of Egypt and everything.
Yeah. And
See, what you have to understand is this, is that God's law was from the beginning. God's law was from the beginning. Always was, always will be. We didn't hear about it until it was implemented. There was a cause to bring it forward.
Mm-hmm.
Then we hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why we fail to understand what went on in the Garden of Eden, the tree of life, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. We don't understand that the tree of knowledge of good and evil was a tree that represented the 17 works of the flesh.
Mm.
But the 17 works of the flesh was against God's principle. They were contrary to God's law, but they had not been made known because there was no need at that time.
Uh-huh.
So they were viewed as the tree of knowledge of good and evil until they were violated, and then when those laws were violated, it become adultery, it become fornication, it become murder, it become haters of God, it become lasciviousness, it become all of those things of the works of the flesh. And at the encounter of the woman in the Garden of Eden, all of the works of the flesh, all of the laws of God were violated at that encounter.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where they were made known. Most of them were violated by the female, but one of them was violated by both, and 4 of them was violated by Adam.
Uh-huh.
Okay? But they all were violated in the Garden of Eden. All right, now let's get back here. Let's get back here.
May I ask a question?
Wait, we're dealing with this question. Hold your
Oh,
question.
you still got him?
Hold the question. Now, they took them wives. I asked again, if it were men, what's wrong with them taking a wife?
Shouldn't have been anything.
Shouldn't have been anything. For this cause shall a man leave his mother and father, and shall cleave unto his wife. When you cleave into something, you can't separate it.
Amen.
You can't separate it. It's got equal cause. You cannot separate it. The only thing that can separate that cleaving is death or the graveyard. So it wouldn't have been nothing wrong with it. But there is something wrong with it because the reference verse say no, that marriage is forbidden.
Come on.
Huh? It's forbidden. So then, let's look at it this way. When they saw that the daughters of men were what? Were fair. Go back over there to Corinthians. Go back over to Corinthians. We read a while ago. What's that, 11th verse? 11th verse?
11th chapter.
Yes.
11th verse. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman,
Uh-huh.
neither the woman without the man in the Lord. Is that the
Uh-huh.
right one?
Go ahead.
For as the woman is of the man, even so is the man also by the woman.
Mm-hmm.
But all things of God.
Mm-hmm.
Judge in yourself